Hello everyone, welcome back to Black Heaven, a necromantic dating sim. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and see if there's a new dialogue. Oh. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, wait, no, I can't skip that. Okay. The scene's wheeled before your eyes, walking across campus to the faculty building, opening the door to the hearing room and seeing Lee's. You go through the same emotions, saying the same words as before, staring at the stone faces of the faculty until Rue comes. You deny everything again, you tell them you're not seeing anyone. You can hear the words coming out of your mouth, but you're just playing your part. You can't deviate from the patterns etched in your memories, even as you watch them unfold. You're trapped. When you leave the room, you find Izagi waiting for you. You pick up the necklace again. When you make it back to your room, you don't feel the anger, the terror, or the spiraling depression. You feel like you're outside of all that. You're just looking through the two holes in your eye sockets at what this Uzo does, what he has to do. You watch him take a walk and slip into the dorms. You watch him wake up and speak to the faculty representative. Uzo attacks the man and chokes him, then goes to the cafeteria to meet Tenza. As you watch it all play out, you remember something No Eyes had said about wandering the snowy wastes in the north. There are no divisions, not between today and tomorrow, or between the present and the past, which means I'm still walking up there. Imagine what it'd be like to wake up every day and have to relive this day again and again. You imagine this slice of your life replaying again and again, with everyone forgetting the previous day when they went to sleep. Every day would be its own prison. They wouldn't know they were trapped. Finally, you ride back at the carriage carrying out of its own, out into the doomed world beyond. You didn't know it back then, but you're trading one hell for another. Everything was already set in motion. Everything was already ruined. There was no escape. As the car rattles across the bridge, you think of your first conversation with No Eyes. Thanks to you, nobody's going to survive in this day and age for so long. So that leaves me with one option. Leave. Where are you going to go? Bad question. A better one would be to ask when I'm going. You close your eyes and sigh. The only way out of this hell, the hell I created, is him. When you open your eyes, you feel empty, wasted. The library looms around you, and the grimoire is on the table in front of you. You feel tears at the edges of your eyes, so you wipe them away and give a quavering sigh. You rest your face in your dirty hands and try to breathe. You can see Rue, Izagi, and Lisa's faces in your mind, smiling, talking, crying. One thought penetrates the haze of exhaustion and anxiety swirling in your head. I had to finish this. What? Okay, I want to talk to Izagi again. This is like round 2 of the discussions. You look down at the grimoire and slowly open the cover. You turn to Izagi's page and gaze down the shifting constellation of points. You almost close the book again as you imagine her hateful expression glaring at you. No. I had to face her. Can't back down now. Not after going through all of this. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Oh, I didn't save. Don't worry, we have to save. Izagi Ito. The diagram on the page stops shifting and locks into place as a hexagon. You feel the air around you become cold and you catch a soft whispering at the edge of your hearing. Oh, I really wish I got Izagi's route. Blaze was fine, but I really want Izagi. Izagi's fingers emerge from the grimoire, then her hand. The arm follows and then you watch her rise from the book. When she finally climbs out of the book, she's left kneeling on the table in front of you, with her head leaned forward close to yours. Her eyes are staring into yours. You can feel the rage and disdain radiating from them. She doesn't say anything, she just stares at you. Izagi. Izagi slides out the table and stands over you. You can see her chest rising and falling hard and hear her breathing through her nostrils. She takes a step closer to you so that her knees almost touch yours. What are you? He killed me. Killed everyone. Suddenly your body tenses and she throws a punch straight at your jaw. Her hand passes through your flesh, but you feel a shiver as it does. As soon as she sees that her punch has phased through you, she makes a disgusted sound and retracts her arm, then turns away from you. I have nothing to say to you, Uzo. I know. Still, I want to talk to you. You don't have to say anything, just listen for a little while. Listening to your voice makes me sick. Just let me go back into the grimoire. You sit silently in your chair for a while, trying to think of something to say. The silence grows and soon almost a minute has passed. You can hear Zagi breathing, but the rest of the library is still. You remember all the times you spent with Zagi training by the river, growing through your kata in silence. Even when you sparred, you didn't need to speak. That silence was comfortable, natural. This silence is different, like a giant, empty ocean between you and her. Do you remember when we were walking on the river, and we had that conversation about training with Izam? We ended up talking about why we chose to be friends with each other, and I said, it's because I admired you. But I still didn't tell you the truth back then. I still admire you after all this time. And you deserve honesty from me. I know I infected everyone. I know I was sleeping with other girls. With Lise. You look up at Izagi, who still has her back to you. What? You weren't sleeping with other girls. You were sleeping with your mentor, and with Lise Bouveau. Yeah. Of all the students at Itsan, she was the one I hated the most. So when they told me you were fucking her, I didn't believe it. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Izagi. Don't hurt me. But the more I thought about it, the more I remembered how you defended her, the more I realized. Izagi turns her head to look at you over her shoulder. I never really knew you at all. You stand up from your chair slowly. You did. I swear you did. I kept a lot hidden, but Izagi spins around to face you, sending your hair swirling around her face. Remember when I told you that I didn't have a lot of friends because most people disappoint me? And you said, I won't disappoint you? You said everyone has an ulterior motive. You said there was no reason for me to trust anything you said. You said you didn't want to lose me. You said I didn't have to do everything alone because you were there. I tried to stop being friends with you, but I came back anyway. God, I wish I had stopped there. Izagi. No, shut up. You killed me. You killed everyone on the fucking campus. Everyone's dead because of you, and you're still alive. I don't want to hear you try to apologize. And I especially don't want to hear you talk about being honest with me. You're a liar from the beginning, and you're a liar now. I wasn't lying when I tried to punch you in the face. You shout the words back at her, but they only seem to rile up Izagi more. Thanks, so you hated me from the beginning. I hated everyone. I didn't fit in with anyone, and everyone looked at me like I was behind the curve. You were the one who made me feel like that the most. You were always treating me like I was a burden, like dead weight around your neck. You were. I know I was. Izagi seems taken aback a little by that. Before she can respond, you can keep going. In your memories, I heard what you thought about me. I know Izan was against you, and he know. But at the time, I just thought you hated me because I wasn't good enough. God, I hated that feeling. To go to class every day and have someone look down their nose at me, nothing drove me crazier than that. So when I was almost punched you, I stopped when I saw. Izagi stares at you while you try to find the right words. For once, she seems like she's listening. I saw something in your eyes that seemed like you understood. And that, I wanted someone who understood. Izagi narrows her eyes. Understood what exactly? What's it like to be? For someone to look at you and think you're worthless. I got the feeling that you knew how it felt, but I didn't get why. You're beautiful, talented, driven. Everyone spoke about you with awe, like you were more than human. I wanted to know why. So you pretended to be my friend to figure out why I hate myself. I did. At first. I wanted to see what was behind. You know. You motion at your face, as if you're touching a mask. But the more I got to know you, the less it became about freaking you out and... You sigh and slump your shoulders. She's not going to believe me when I say it. The more I cared about you. Izagi's lips curled back into snarl. Then why did you cheat on me with Lise Bouval? He gazed at Izagi silently for a few seconds. Because I liked having 3 people telling me that they loved me. That I was worth something. Izagi's snarl recedes until her face is stony again. She breathes in through her nostrils and holds her gaze. I was selfish. That's what it came down to. There was a point where I should have stopped. But I kept pretending that it didn't have to. I wasn't lying when I said I didn't want to lose you. but that was selfish too. Izagi lifts up her arms and slowly crosses them. Who are you really? Me? What do you mean? I mean, the you I met sold himself as a cynical, bitter person who turned out to be patient and kind. Was all of it an act? What kind of person are you really? You give a bitter laugh and press a hand over the left side of her face. That's the question I've been asking myself. What'd you come up with? With the kind of personality I had, I really did despise other people. I hid it for a long time, but deep down I really did. But that's because beneath all that I knew that I'm weak, pathetic, and petty. And I only hated people because I was terrified of them. Terrified? Why are you terrified? I'm terrified someone will see the real me. If they did, they'd be able to size me up and tell me that I really am worth nothing. But you're telling me that now. I'm trying to change. But before I can do that, I have to finish what I started. I've been thinking about what happened for so long. About you, about Itza, and about the plague. There was always some part of me that wanted a way to go back, to change what I did. No eyes grinning helmet flashes in your mind. There was no way to change it. So all I can do is tell you the truth. So ask me anything you want. You want to know how I really am? You want to know why all of it. Izagi twists her head to the side and gives you a sidelong look. Instead of staring you down, detesting your every word, Izagi seems to be listening to you. You keep saying that you want to be honest, but I still don't trust you. You want to know how you can be sure I'm not lying? How? Because nothing I say is going to get me anything. You want me to forgive you. You want to be free of the guilt of what you did. I used to think that would be the only thing I could want. But as it turns out, it doesn't matter if you say sorry and the other people say apology accepted. Some things can't be forgiven. Izagi stares at you like she's trying to search your eyes for some kind of sign. After a few seconds, she seems to give up and lowers her eyes. What did you really think of me? You run your eyes over Izagi's face, remembering how stern she used to be and how it felt to see her really smile for the first time. I thought you were stubborn and arrogant at first. You were always intense. I think I told you that. The more I got to know you, the more I started to admire you. Izagi looks up and gives you a skeptical look. I mean it. I'd always resigned myself to the idea that, I wasn't the smartest or strongest. So there would always be obstacles that I could never overcome, no matter how hard I tried. But you? It's like that I thought hadn't even occurred to you. You wholeheartedly believed that you could do anything and be the best. Except that wasn't true. I didn't believe that. No, I guess not. I guess that's just how I saw you, and that's why it really It really rattled me when you told me you had to give up regular martial arts. He gave me that whole speech to try to get me to believe in myself. I remember that. You said it wasn't planned, but I didn't quite believe you. Was it? Yeah, it was. I practiced it before I went to your dorm. I was actually reciting it outside your door. So that was supposed to get you closer to me too. It was kind of secondary, actually. Then what was the main goal? I didn't want you to give up. I wanted you to believe in yourself. Why? Because there's something special about you. You're so earnest. You tried so hard and you were so hard on yourself. I've met so few people like that, and I thought it would be a terrible shame to have a light like you go out. A light? You know, like a lighthouse or a star. You look at it, it reminds you that there's something higher, something better out there. You really put me on a pedestal. Maybe. I thought you were special. That didn't stop you from tearing me down after you lost to Tenza. Or, you know, sleeping around with other women. You sigh. After Tenza, I was ready to kill someone. It drove me insane. I just wanted to burn everything down. And you did. You spread the disease to all those dorms. I didn't think I'd make it out of the place alive either. I didn't want to. I wanted to die. So that's what you're killed for. Spite. You don't hesitate. Yes. I felt like I had nothing. I was never going to be happy, so why not take everyone with me? Why should they get to be happy? That's what I thought. I just wanted to burn it all. What about me? He gazed back at Izagi and nodded. Back then, even you. That's how I was. Izagi's eyes become hard for a moment, but his expression softens a little. I want to say that only a monster could be that cruel, but that's not true. Not if I'm being honest. I don't think I could kill anyone on campus, but there have been times when what I wanted more than anything was to have my hands around someone's neck and feel them thrash around helpless. It's ugly to say it, but I think I was pretty ugly on the inside. How much of that did you pick up on? I knew you had a lot of stuff going on beneath the surface. I guess that a lot of the discipline and drive you had came from not liking who you were. I think the closest I got to seeing your, I don't know if I'd call it your ugly side, but another side of you at least, was when we went to the dojo after the festival. Izagi's cheeks flush and she immediately drops her eyes. Oh. For a little while, I was actually kind of scared. I'd never seen you like that and I didn't know what you'd do. You were so careful and reticent about that kind of thing before, and it made me realize you were. Trying to keep control. Izagi's voice is soft. She keeps her eyes on the floor, causing her hair to swing in front of her face. Oh god, I didn't want you to be scared, but after we started sparring, I felt like I couldn't get a handle on myself. I tried to keep all those urges buried, but they never really went anywhere. I knew I should have stopped in the middle, but I was tired of holding everything back. I just wanted to be selfish for once, even if it hurt you. Sounds like me. I guess you understand me better than you think. Izagi raises her face and tentatively pushes the hair out of her face. What do you mean? I knew that everything I was doing was wrong. Lying to you, to Rue, to Lise. Manipulating you so I could get what I wanted. I knew it was selfish, but I did it anyway. Even if it hurt you. It's not the same, not by a long shot. I gave in for a second, but I had to keep doing it again and again. But I think it all comes from the same place. Izagi frowns and tilts her head. Hating yourself. Kind of. I remember when we were doing it that you seemed hungry. Maybe I'm wrong about you, but that's how I felt at the time. Not for sex, just for something. I felt like there was something missing in me. Izagi nods. I felt like that for my whole life. I only allowed myself to have little crumbs. I don't know, maybe that sounds strange since I grew up in a rich family. But I always felt like I had to deprive myself of things I wanted because I didn't deserve them. And even when I did, I couldn't let myself enjoy them because all those pent-up feelings would come rushing out. I saw how your parents treated you in your memories. What did you see? You open your mouth, but only a dry, violent caw comes out. You double over, hacking, choking. Muto, are you okay? You cough hard and swell warm blood on the inside of your mask. I think I need to check the filter on my mask. Fall to your knees and tear the filter off your mask. Then dig around in your satchel. You pull out a new one and quickly screw it into place. I think I'm bleeding in my lungs. Oh god, that's not good. I'll have to finish talking later. Okay. You reach under the table and close the grimoire. Izagi disappears. As soon as she's gone, you hastily unbutton your jacket and shirt to reveal a small cascade of blood dripping down your chest. Damn it. How deep was the wound? There's blood in my mouth and that means only one of my lungs is bleeding. But if I was able to go this long without suffocating, maybe it's just a small puncture or something. You take out a roll of bandages from her satchel, wipe away the excess blood and try to staunch the bleeding. After a few minutes, the blood seeping out has slowed enough for you to draw on the skin with your stylus. You draw a spell map for coagulation first, then stir the gashes in your flesh. The only way to fix the lung is to open up my chest. But if I do that here, then all the ash and dust is going to get in. Hell, I might settle right on the lung. I can't draw my lung directly. Only a spoken spell could work. I still have to be touching the injury. You close your eyes and try to pinpoint the source of the pain in your chest. It feels like a web of hot, red stinging spreading across the lower half of your right lung. I guess that's my best shot. You begin tracing a larger, more complex spell map on your chest, remembering the guide points for Midzon, the navel, the nipples, and the center of the sternum. As you work, you feel a warm heaviness in your right lung. It's slight, but you know it's going to get worse. After 20 minutes of work, you put down the stylus and reach into your bag for the roll of surgical knives. You haven't used them in a long time, but when you unroll them on the table, they're as pristine as you remember them. You pick up one of the knives, a long thin one, and lay down on your chest. Small incision, deep enough to reach the lung and wide enough for my ring finger to slide in. Once I'm touching the lung, I have to speak the spell for regeneration and hope it works. You stare down on your chest and adjust the knife in your right hand, then point the tip at your chest. You take a deep breath and grip the table to steady yourself. Half an hour later, you pull your bloody ring finger out of your chest and gasp. You can feel the tissue of your lung reknitting itself, but the pain is enough to make you choke. You shut your eyes tightly and clench your teeth, waiting for it to pass. After a few seconds, you feel like you can breathe again. You sigh heavily, then start sealing at the incision. Once it's all finished, you stand up and take a deep breath. You can still feel the fluid in your lung, but you hope there won't be any more of it. That's all I can do for now. You sit down at the table and look down at the grimoire once again. You sigh and open the cover, turn to Zagi's page, and run your fingertips over the shifting designs. Izagi Ito. Izagi's form begins to emerge in the book once again, and after a few moments she steps out of the pages and off the table. She rubs her arm and gives you a slight nod. You're alive. Yeah. Somehow. Is the wound serious? I'm fine for now. In the next few days or so, we'll see. I see. You look up at Izagi and run a hand through her hair. Through your hair. Please sit. Makes me nervous when you're standing over me. Izagi nods and sits down across from you. She folds her hands in front of her and stares at you. So where did we leave off? I think I was talking about feeling hungry, and you mentioned my parents. That's right. We were talking about memories, and I was going to say something about that one night with your parents. You see Izagi's body tighten with apprehension. Which night? The night you were at Hatsu's dojo and you were pouring tea for them and their friends. Izagi's face darkens. How much did you see? I saw your father pour out the tea, sparring match, and your talk with your mother. Izagi covers her face with both hands and inhales deeply. I was going to say, it seemed like your parents were... It seemed like they were waiting for you to screw up. And I didn't disappoint, did I? I broke Ato's ribs in front of his parents. I also saw your first meeting with Mistress Hatsu. That time that she gave you the lowest pin. And your first meeting with Izam. Izagi nods. So you've seen me at my worst. And a few times when I was actually happy. Yeah, I guess so. Hatsu seemed like she was more apparent to you than your parents. No offense, but... None taken. At least she tried to listen to me. You chuckled bitterly to yourself. I also saw your memory of you when you first met me at the dojo. That time, it was like I was in your head. I could see through your eyes and hear what you were thinking. I was so impatient and angry back then. It's about what I expected, actually. After seeing you train so much with Hatsu, I kind of understood why you'd be frustrated with me. Still, it wasn't fair of me to expect everyone to match me. But there's one thing I never remembered to ask you. It was when I had you in the headlock on that first day. You knew how to twist her whole torso to drive back your elbow. That's not something most people knew how to do. Oh, yeah. Well, where did you think I learned how to fight with a knife? I'm guessing you had some rough friends. I was a criminal before I began studying. I had to make a living on the streets of Senkaku. Not by hurting people, but conning them. Izagi's face screws up in disgust. Like shell games. More like confidence tricks, you know, stuff like telling a tourist that you've got a diamond ring but it's stolen, so you have to sell it to them for rock bottom prices. Even every now and then something would go wrong and you have to get out of bad situation. The Helak move got me out of one. Is that how you made it into Itsan? You tricked examiners? No actually. My master knew that I wasn't going to get high enough scores, so he paid out the examiner. Why? Because he believed in me. He thought I had potential. Talent. Whatever you want to call it. He didn't want me to waste it by being a scribe for the rest of my life. He was the one person who thought I was worth something. Izagi seems like she's going to say something, then she decides against it. I tried to convince my parents of that. It didn't work. Seems like they want you to be what they wanted. Yes, but they were right. I was selfish too. I just wanted to figure out what I wanted before everything was decided for me. I understand that. In some ways, maybe I was lucky that I was born as a nobody. Nobody expected anything from me, so I got to choose. Then again, I chose to go around robbing and lying to people. I hurt people too, and not by accident either. I hurt them because I wanted to. I couldn't even control myself when it mattered. Izan was right about me. No way. Izan was part of the problem. He knew he was putting all that pressure on you from the beginning. Your parents knew too. Pushing someone like that for their whole life, waiting for you to screw up, that's not fair. Izagi makes a disgusted sound and shrugs. Maybe, but even when I blame them, my parents, Itsan, I still don't feel like I'm guiltless. Because if I were really strong or talented or whatever you want to call it, I'd be able to handle it all. I'd be able to take the pressure. Besides, I kind of like having all those obstacles. Gave me something to beat, you know? I knew I was on the right track if I just... I don't know. What would you have done if you hadn't gone to Itsan? Your parents had just let you do what you wanted. Well, that was never going to happen. But if they did? Izagi sighs and shrugs. I guess I'd finish my training with Hatsu and carry on teaching at her school for a while. After that, I'd wander around for a while, I guess, see the world, maybe meet some other masters and learn from them. It'd be strange to not have a goal or a plan in life, but I think it'd be nice just to wake up every day and know that no one wanted anything from me. But knowing me and how I am, I don't think it will last. What do you mean? I think that even if I was free to do whatever I wanted, I'd still eventually feel like I was being selfish. All the time and money in the world, and I'd only be spending it on making myself feel better. It's not selfish to want to be happy. No? Then why did you do what you did? Sleeping with Lees and Rue, spreading the disease. You did what you wanted, and other people had to pay the price. You stare at Izagi for a long time. I was being selfish. But even when I thought I had everything I wanted, I still wasn't happy. I still felt like I was worthless because I had to pretend to be someone else to get it. And the plague? That wasn't about being happy. That was about making everyone as miserable as I was. I was never going to be happy no matter how many people loved me, no matter how many rewards Itsan gave me. After the academy, I thought I was going to be like you, doing what I wanted, being away from other people. But that just meant being home alone, being alone with myself. Izagi shakes her head slightly and rests her chin on her fist. Maybe some people aren't meant to be happy. I don't think that's true. I think we just spend so much time trying to run from ourselves that we don't know how to stop. I didn't run. I tried so hard to change. I tried to be someone I could respect. But beneath it all, I knew I was the same person I always was. Even after I died, I was still the same. I just stopped being able to hide it. You mean your ghost? What was that like? It felt like I was crashing in and out of who I was. The only thing that stayed the same was the feeling that I was frustrated. Every way I turned, there seemed to be a bad memory or a roadblock or a voice doubting me. After a while, I couldn't even hear myself think. I felt trapped, which makes me wonder. Are you going to keep me in here forever? Noise's grin flashes through your mind. No, I'm not. But first I'm going to take you to Lazula. There's a physiomancer down there who wants to talk to you. About what? He thinks he can create a cure for the plague. He's not sure. But he asked me to find someone from Itzan who studied physical augmentation. After that, I'll let you loose. Ah. Is that what you want? It doesn't matter. If you let me out, I'll probably just go back to how I was before. My other shape, I mean. And I guess I'll spend the rest of eternity going over all this again and again until I'm just rage. You nod slowly. I remember that after I fought Tenza. I felt like I was trapped, like you said. And then after the conduct hearing, I felt like my whole world had shrunk down to nothing. I kept having to face what I'd done, who I was, and I couldn't get over it. I just kept coming back to the beginning and starting the cycle over again. That's exactly how it feels. But maybe there's a way to stop that from happening. How? It's hard to explain, but when I finished the memory when I was leaving Itzan, I realized that he tried to remember the words. I had to stop. I had to stop being the terrified and pathetic. If I can stop, then I'll break the cycle and I'll... But if you stopped being you, what would you be? You take a deep breath and shrug. I realized that I couldn't stand myself anymore, but I couldn't become someone else. I was trapped in an endless loop. And I got so frustrated and felt so helpless that I just fell apart. What do you mean? I just stopped trying to do anything or be anything. And that's when I realized that all that hate and selfishness didn't come from anywhere. It's just me holding on to the idea of me. Izagi frowns and tilts her head. When you say you holding on to yourself, that's a paradox. Try to explain further is my only option. Yeah, I know. I think that's where the feeling going in circles comes from. When you get frustrated trying to change yourself, you get frustrated because who you are is a paradox. The you that hates yourself isn't separate from yourself, so it all starts to fold in on itself. But at heart, there's a you that's thinking and feeling about all that stuff. Oh, that's hurt. My bad. I don't know. I think if you keep digging into who you are, you end up realizing that you aren't set in stone. Well, sure. People change over time, but things shape you. They stick with you. They said you want to change yourself. You want to become someone you respected. If you could change your whole identity like that, you could become anything. I don't. It's like, you know the river near campus, the one we train at all the time. Yes. What makes a river a river? What? The water. Right. A river has a certain outline to it because of the banks, but the water going through it is always flowing downstream. There's new water coming from upstream, and the old water is always moving away. Every day when we looked at the river, we just thought, yeah, that's the same river, but it wasn't all the water flowing through the banks was new. Okay, so what's your point? You're not your body. You're not your memories. You're not your fears or your desires or your thoughts. Then what am I? You're like the way the river moves. Just a drive to go somewhere. And once that drive is gone, you're free to become anything. Anyone. You remember what Noah said to you. I've discovered that for each person, there's a string of words that can utterly destroy them. Wait, can you do something for me? What? You get up, pull a book out the shelf, and rip a page from it. You sit down with the page and carefully cut into a square with your knife. When you're finished, you pass the paper to Zagi. Can you make me a lotus? Okay. Izagi begins to fold the lotus, using her fingertips to fold the leaves and the heel of her palm to crease the long folds. After a few minutes, Izagi presents you with a freshly folded lotus. You take it from her with your fingertips and carefully unfold it. If a lotus can be a map of the soul, you look over the patterned lines, searching for mistakes and deviations in the symmetry. When you find them, you turn to Zagi's page in the grimoire and begin to arrange the constellation and points with your finger, setting them in place like pieces on the board. When you're finished, the patterns of lines and verses in the grimoire match the folds of the lotus. Thousands of smaller, thinner lines cross in the center of the design, and there you see the hazy outline of another point, formed by the intersection of all the lines. You reach out and softly brush the point with the tip of your finger, and you see Zagi shudder. There's something here. I don't know if it's a memory or something else. In your mind, however, you realize what it is. The sum of all of Izagi's flaws, fears, and desires. Izagi peers across the table, but as soon as her eyes fall on the page, she freezes. You see her eyes shut immediately and her head turned away from the page. Izagi? What's wrong? Whatever you're doing, stop it. Stop it now. What does it look like to you? Close the book. Izagi, you have to. No! You reach out and try to grasp Izagi's hand, but your fingers pass straight through her. Izagi, please, don't look away! You want to make sure you don't spend eternity trapped in that same cycle? You want to change? Then this is the way! Izagi furrows her brow and glances toward the book, but it feels like she can't bring herself to look at it. Please, you have to trust me. I trusted you before, and look what happened. I'm not doing this for me. Then why? Because I still care about you, and I want to make this right. Izagi stares into her eyes for a few seconds, searching. You might be telling the truth. You might. But I don't want to take that chance. After everything that happened, I just can't stand to do it again. Your shoulders slump, You look down at the grimoire, watching the pattern shift. I understand. Both of you stand there for a long time. Izagi's shoulders are hunched, and you can see that her hands are curled into tight fists. You sigh and rest her face in your palm. She won't trust me again. Not after all this. I think it'd just be best if I went back in the grimoire. Alright. You close the grimoire, and Izagi disappears. You sigh and sit down, staring at the cover. I did all I could. Leave it's on. Talk to Lee's. Talk to Rue. On my save. I'm running out of saves. Let's see. I think we'll save Lee's for last. Let's go with Rue now. But unfortunately, I've run out of time. But if you are enjoying this video, please leave a like and comment what you think so far if you're enjoying it. If you want to watch more videos of this visual novel, please check the playlist down below. If you want to watch other visual novels, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and take care.